Starship Flight 10 is finally ready, but Elon just made a decision that changes everything. Starbase is buzzing with activity. Pad 2 has over a dozen clamp arms installed, the tank farm is being tested, and Block 3 hardware is moving fast. Here's the problem. Blue Origin's Mark 1 lander just arrived in Florida, and it's the tallest lunar vehicle ever built. They might actually beat SpaceX to the moon. Meanwhile, SpaceX's test site is shut down at the worst possible time. Which will go first? Booster 18 or Test Tank 18.1? This single choice could determine who wins the lunar race. Let's dive right in. Elon's decision didn't happen in a vacuum. Behind the scenes at Starbase, chaos. The main test site at Massie's, completely shut down, equipment being torn out, new systems being installed. But here's the kicker. This happened at the absolute worst time possible. Picture this. Your main factory floor goes dark, right when you need to deliver your most important product. That's exactly what SpaceX is facing. No test site, no backup plan, just pressure, mounting every single day. But wait, while Massie sits empty and silent, something extraordinary is happening at the launch site. They're transforming Pad 2 into something that's never been attempted before. A launch pad that doubles as a test facility. This isn't just innovation. This is desperation meeting genius. The numbers don't lie. 21 clamp arms total needed for Pad 2. Over a dozen already installed. These aren't just mechanical parts. They're the lifeline that will hold SpaceX's lunar dreams together. Every arm installed is one step closer to the moon, but one step closer to disaster if this gamble fails. Here's where things get really intense. Block 3 isn't just the next version of Starship, it's a complete reimagining of how rockets work. The booster quick disconnect system, totally redesigned. The clamp configuration, nothing like what came before. Even the number of quick disconnects might double from 1 to 2. Engineers are losing sleep over this. You cannot test Block 3 hardware with Block 2 equipment. It's like trying to jumpstart a Tesla with jumper cables from a 1970s car. The technology simply doesn't match. This creates the impossible choice. Booster 18 sits in Megabay 1 right now. Real hardware. Flight ready. Built to actually carry humans to space. Then there's Test Tank 18.1. Simpler, safer, designed specifically for testing. Both represent billions of dollars in development. Both represent the future of space exploration. Only one can go first. Choose Booster 18. You're betting the company's most advanced hardware on unproven systems. One failure could set the program back months, maybe years. Choose Test Tank 18.1. You're playing it safe, but potentially watching competitors race ahead while you test. Which would you choose when humanity's future in space hangs in the balance? While SpaceX wrestles with these impossible decisions, something stunning is happening in Florida. Blue Origin just changed the game completely. Their New Glenn rocket? That's not the real story. The real story is sitting in their Florida facility right now. The Blue Moon Mark 1 lander has arrived, and it's massive. Taller than the Apollo lunar module, potentially taller than anything SpaceX has ready. Let that sink in for a moment. While Elon tweets about Mars, Jeff Bezos has been quietly building the future. The Mark 1 can carry 3 metric tons to the lunar surface. That's not as much as Starship promises, but it's ready now. Not in 5 years, not after 50 more tests. Now Blue Origin's approach suddenly looks less boring and more brilliant. They're not trying to revolutionize everything at once. They're focusing on one goal, getting to the moon first, and they might actually do it. New Glenn's first flight? Success. Second flight scheduled for this fall with NASA's Escapade mission to Mars. They're not just talking anymore. They're delivering. The space race just got a lot more interesting. But the competition doesn't stop there. Europe is finally waking up from their reusability denial. The Themis rocket has arrived at Sweden's Esrange Space Center. This is Europe's first serious attempt at reusable rocket technology. Here's the shocking part. In 2013, ESA's Stefan Israel said reusability was Personally, I think a dream. He also predicted only 20 to 25 satellites would be launched per year. SpaceX now launches that many satellites in a single week. The dream became reality, and Europe was left behind. Themis is their desperate attempt to catch up. 28 meters tall, 3.5 meters wide, designed to launch, land vertically, and be reused. Exactly what SpaceX has been doing for over a decade. But the fact that they're trying shows how completely SpaceX has changed the game. The question is it too late? Back at Starbase, something crucial is happening that most people are missing. The tank farm tests with cryogenic gases aren't just routine checks. They're preparing to feed 2 launch pads simultaneously. This has never been done before. The boil-off patterns, the icing formations, these aren't just pretty visual effects. They're signs that the infrastructure is being pushed to its absolute limits. SpaceX is preparing for a launch cadence that seemed impossible just years ago. The installation of the orbital launch mount tells another story. Those support trusses being removed from underneath? That means the primary welding is complete. The platform is now fully secured and aligned. Pad 2 is becoming operational faster than anyone expected. Here's where things get really interesting. The ship testing stand has been relocated to Pad 1. Why would they move critical testing equipment to a launch pad? The answer reveals SpaceX's desperation to find solutions. With Massie Shutdown, they need alternatives for static fire testing. The ship testing stand might serve as some kind of adapter, a bridge between old and new systems. It's not elegant, but it's practical. This is SpaceX adapting in real time to solve problems that would cripple other companies. Recent scaffolding on the orbital mount suggests major work is underway. A ring lift operation seems imminent. This isn't just maintenance, it's preparation for something bigger. While SpaceX and Blue Origin battle for American dominance, other players are making surprising moves. The Chinese company Space Transportation is developing something nobody expected, a rocket recovery system using nets. Yes, nets. Their animation shows a rocket reaching 2 kilometers altitude, then flipping vertically like Starship. But instead of landing on legs, it descends toward 2 large nets. The first net has a hole burned through it by the deceleration burn. The rocket slides through and gets caught by the second net. It sounds crazy, but it's innovative. While everyone else copies SpaceX's landing approach, China is thinking differently. Will this work? Maybe not. But it shows how desperately everyone wants to solve the reusability puzzle. The U.S. Space Force is taking notice of all this competition. Their new maneuverable satellites represent a completely different approach to space dominance. These aren't just stationary targets. They're dynamic platforms that can change orbits on command. The R2-C2 system, Resilient Responsive Control Constellation, sounds like science fiction, but it's real. Satellites that can dodge threats, controlled by cloud-based software from anywhere on Earth. This is space warfare preparation disguised as defensive technology. SpaceX's role in this is crucial. Their $81.6 million contract for the WSFM-2 satellite launch shows how deeply embedded they are in national security missions. But what happens if Blue Origin or other competitors start winning these contracts? SpaceX's recent achievements with Starlink tell a different story. Their latest mission achieved a new record. Just 2 days, 8 hours, and 31 minutes between launches from the same pad. That's not just impressive, it's revolutionary. Booster B-1092 completed its mission and landed successfully, marking the 469th successful booster landing in SpaceX history. These aren't just statistics. They're proof that rapid reusability works. Every successful landing validates Elon's vision and puts pressure on competitors. But here's the question. Can this Earth orbit success translate to lunar missions? Starlink satellites are relatively small and simple. Lunar missions require precision, reliability, and capabilities that SpaceX is still developing. Let's be honest about what SpaceX faces. Block 3 hardware represents years of development and billions of dollars in investment. The quick disconnect redesign alone required rethinking fundamental assumptions about how rockets are fueled and controlled. The clamp arm installation at Pad 2 isn't just about having the right number of parts. Each arm must be precisely aligned, properly calibrated, and tested under extreme conditions. One failure could destroy months of work and millions of dollars in hardware. The tank farm tests reveal another layer of complexity. Cryogenic propellants behave differently under various conditions. Temperature, pressure, flow rates. Everything must be perfect. The boil-off patterns engineers are studying contain crucial data about system performance. So we return to the central question, Booster 18 or Test Tank 18.1. This choice reveals everything about SpaceX's current priorities and risk tolerance. Choosing Booster 18 means confidence in their systems and urgency about timeline. It means they believe Block 3 is ready for prime time, but it also means risking their most advanced hardware on unproven systems. Choosing Test Tank 18.1 means caution and methodical testing. It means accepting delays in favor of safety, but it also means potentially falling further behind competitors who are moving faster. The decision affects everything: Flight 10 timing, lunar mission readiness, and SpaceX's competitive position. It's not just about which piece of hardware to test first, it's about the company's entire strategic direction. This decision represents more than just technical logistics. It's about whether SpaceX can maintain their innovation advantage while scaling up to meet massive expectations. They've proven they can dominate Earth orbit. Can they do the same for lunar missions? Blue Origin's methodical approach suddenly looks less boring and more strategic. Their focus on lunar missions, combined with traditional aerospace reliability, creates a compelling alternative to SpaceX's move fast and break things approach. The global space race is no longer just about getting to space, it's about getting there reliably, affordably, and repeatedly. SpaceX pioneered this approach, but they're no longer the only player in the game. Every test at Starbase, every clamp arm installation, every tank farm verification represents a step toward answering the ultimate question: who will control humanity's expansion into space? The clock is ticking, the competition is fierce, and Elon's next decision could determine everything. Look, we're witnessing history in real time. SpaceX's choice between Booster 18 and Test Tank 18.1 isn't just about hardware. It's about humanity's future among the stars. While Blue Origin quietly builds their lunar empire, while Europe scrambles to catch up, while China innovates with nets and dreams, SpaceX stands at the crossroads. Will they risk it all on unproven Block 3 systems, or play it safe while competitors race ahead? The space race has never been more intense. Every test, every launch, every landing brings us closer to becoming a multi-planetary species. What do you think? Should SpaceX go bold with Booster 18 or play it safe with Test Tank 18.1? Drop your predictions in the comments below. And hey, if you're as obsessed with space as we are, hit that subscribe button, because next week we're diving deep into Blue Origin's secret lunar strategy that could change everything. The future is being written right now, and you're here to witness it all. Welcome to Space Core, where the impossible becomes inevitable. Just 8 launches to fuel any mission to Mars. That's what SpaceX's new tanker just made possible. While NASA spends years planning one moon trip, SpaceX built a flying fuel truck that changes everything. It carries 200 tons of fuel to space in a single flight. But here's what's really crazy. Why are China's satellites secretly practicing fuel transfers right now? 2 mysterious spacecraft just docked in orbit, and US surveillance couldn't tell them apart. The space race everyone thought was decades away, it's happening today. This tanker isn't just another rocket. It's the key that unlocks Mars, the moon, and everything beyond. What seemed impossible yesterday becomes routine tomorrow. Let's dive right in. Right now, at SpaceX's Starbase facility in Texas, workers are assembling something extraordinary. It looks like just another Starship. Same sleek steel body, same powerful engines, same landing capability. But inside, everything is different. This isn't carrying astronauts to space. It's not hauling satellites. It's designed for one purpose only: to be a flying fuel truck. And that single purpose is about to rewrite the rules of space exploration forever. Picture this. You're planning a road trip to another planet. You've got your car, your route, your destination. But there's one problem. No gas stations for 140 million miles. That's been the nightmare keeping NASA awake at night for decades. Every Mars mission hits the same wall. Fuel weight. A Starship needs 1,500 tons of propellant to reach Mars. That's the weight of 300 cars, just in fuel. Try launching that from Earth in one